Hello family, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angela and this channel is all about beauty, fashion, and life. And I hope if you like the content here or you like today's video that you'll give me a thumbs up and you're subscribed to the channel and support us here on Angela Mashelle YouTube family. Now, I want to jump on here today to do a video about peace of mind and protecting our peace of mind. You know, there's been a lot going on the last 4 to 5 years, a lot all over the world. There's just been a lot that weighs heavy on the average person. And for us here in the United States, it's been extremely challenging and difficult at times. So I wanted to talk about protecting our peace of mind because as a person who has lived for quite some time now, I've experienced and I have seen how living in a constant state of anger, fear, or anxiety can impact your physical being. I've also seen that as a nurse. I know that living in these states of unstableness manifests itself physically quite often. A lot of times as women, we'll start gaining weight and we can't figure out why we're gaining weight. We're not eating any differently, or we're not exercising any differently, or not having a lack of exercise any differently, but we seem to somehow be gaining weight and we can't get rid of it. Sometimes, our hair will start to fall out. We can't figure out why is my hair falling out. I haven't started any new medications. I don't think that I'm under any extra undue stress. I'm not eating differently. I just really can't figure out why my hair is falling out. And sometimes it manifests itself in insomnia. I can't get to sleep at night. I just cannot fall asleep at night. You're not getting enough sleep. Then you wake up the next morning, you're groggy, you may be irritable. Then you may unfortunately snap at someone at work or snap at someone in your family. Then you're kind of feeling guilty about that. And so that in turn adds on to the insomnia. So it's just a vicious cycle of trying to figure out what is going on, or I just can't get it together. And we haven't realized that we're in a state of unsteadiness or unstableness because of all the things that are going on around us. We're internalizing those things and may not even realize what's going on. Sometimes we may even find ourselves feeling sad or depressed and cannot figure out, why am I feeling so sad? And then you start feeling guilty because you start thinking, I have everything I need. My family is healthy and happy. I thought I was healthy and happy, but all of a sudden I'm starting to feel sad all the time. I just cannot get it together. Or you may find yourself weeping at times when you have no reason to be crying, and then that's frustrating in itself. And it's happened to me. It's frustrating in itself, and you can't figure out, why am I crying? I have absolutely no reason to cry. And then along with all the physical things that are going on with menopause and the life changing and that sort of thing. So, you know, that is a manifestation of the unstableness as well. Now, if you find yourself in a place where you're trying to determine, do I actually protect my peace of mind? Do I protect my peace at all costs? And I know as women, a lot of times we're not going to be able to protect our peace or our peace of mind at all costs. We have so many people depending on us, and we're just the center of so many lives. We can't protect it at all costs, but we should be able to protect it at almost all costs. And one of the things that you can do to determine whether you're protecting your peace and taking care of yourself, providing some self-care, is to ask yourself, what 3 things do I constantly do for myself to protect my peace, or what 3 things do I do to take care of myself? You know, if you think about it, there are people in your life that you do things for them to protect their peace or make sure they're happy. You can just name it like that. For instance, to make my husband happy, to protect his peace, I know that he's happy when he looks nice if we go somewhere. So I always try to make certain that he has nice clothes to wear. If he loses weight or gains weight, I'm looking at his waist, his pants. I'll buy a pair of pants because I know maybe these pants have gotten a little too tight, or maybe he's lost some weight, or these pants are too small, and I want him to feel nice. So I always make certain that he has something nice in his closet to wear. And I have a teenage son. I know that he's hungry when he comes home from school. And I know that he's always really, really happy if I have Brock's in the refrigerator. He loves Brock's. I don't like them, but he loves them. And every time he sees them, he's smiling. So I do that to make sure he's happy. And when I think about myself, I do try to make sure I do some self-care. And one thing that brings me peace of mind is making sure my skin is looking nice. So for me, I really focus on taking care of my skin. I have a great skincare routine. particularly in the morning, and I'm trying something new at night. But that's one of the things that I do for myself to provide some great self-care. So ask yourself, what do I do for me to make sure I'm providing self-care for me, to make sure I have peace of mind? The next thing you can do is ask yourself, what brings me peace? What brings me joy? What allows me to relax? What do I truly enjoy doing where I'm just at peace and just at ease and I'm just smiling? For some people, that may be yoga or stretching. You know, I have a friend named Ronnie. You all probably saw her. If you watched my video and you saw the watermelon mustard challenge, that's my village sister Ronnie in Saudi Arabia. I stayed with her about a week before I came home, and she has a stretching and exercise routine that she does every single morning. And she's in her early 60s, and I was so impressed. Like, I was mind blown. I remember standing up looking like, oh my God. She gets up early every morning. She stretches like she was landing, and she's tall. She used to play basketball. She's like 6'1". How tall is she, honey? She's over 6 foot, but she's very tall. And she stretches, and she was sitting on the floor, and she was laying, and her nose was touching her kneecaps. I'm talking about touching, like she was laying on her legs. Then she had her arms stretched out, and she had her hands completely wrapped around her feet. And I was thinking, oh my God, I wish I could. And I was like, how can you do that? And she said it took her a minute. She stretched a little bit at a time every single day, but she was consistent, and she does that for her self-care. She said, I don't want to be stiff as I get older. I want to be flexible. I don't want to have to worry about if I trip or fall, breaking a hip or anything. And that's what she does for her self-care. And she does it every single day, consistently, without fail. And I was just highly impressed. So, like, if you don't do yoga, do you love gardening? I love gardening. I know you know I love shopping, but gardening is my happy place. I love digging in the dirt. I have tomato plants, green pepper plants, all sort of plants growing right now in my little garden, but I love gardening. You may love going to the movies, maybe going to the movies in the middle of the week when no one else is there, where it's quiet. You can just truly enjoy the movie. Maybe you love spending time with your children. Maybe you love shopping. Maybe you love cooking, and that's just something that brings you a lot of joy. Whatever it is, make certain that you are doing those things. Maybe what brings you joy and peace of mind is talking to your girlfriends, where you can woosah. You can just truly be yourself and just get everything off your chest and get some honest feedback about what's going on in your life, and ask questions and get great answers. And at times, if you've been constantly doing that and it's been working for you, and now all of a sudden it's not working, perhaps you need to seek professional care. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's no stigma attached to that anymore. It is okay to speak to someone that's going to be impartial, that's going to give you a professional answer, that's going to give you some professional advice. Do that for yourself, because your peace of mind is priceless and it is worth it. And now it's something you don't have to actually go in the office for anymore. You can do a FaceTime, like Zoom type call, or you can do a phone call and speak with a therapist. Whatever it is that's going to bring you peace and peace of mind is something that you need to be doing, and doing on a consistent basis. Now, just so you know, protecting your peace of mind may require you to make some hard decisions and disappoint some people. And it feels bad, but that's going to be okay, because you have to protect yourself. You have to put yourself first. Sometimes, come on, we don't do it all the time as women, but sometimes you have to put yourself first, and your peace of mind is very important, because if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be difficult to almost impossible at some point to take care of others. You can do it for a while, but at some point you're going to burn out, and that's not what we want. We don't want to get to that point. So you may have to make some hard decisions. You may have to miss some special events. You may have to miss a friend's bridal shower. You may have to miss a baby shower. You may even have to miss something as important as going to a funeral. If that's going to bring you peace, if you know it's going to stress you really, really bad, then you may need to say, I have to put me first. I can't do it, for your peace of mind. And that should be okay. That is okay. People may not understand, but you need to understand that it's okay, because you're protecting yourself and protecting your peace of mind. Now, I'll tell you a couple of things that I've learned to do to protect my peace of mind. And one of those things is to learn to say no. Now, no is a complete sentence. I'm sure you all have heard that. It deserves no explanation. It needs no explanation, just no. But we don't live in the world without other people, and we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so we try to get around just saying no, but you can say no, but be firm and be kind about it. You can say things like, unfortunately, I cannot, I wish I could, or I can't do it at this time. But you need to say no. And learning to say no will teach you how to set boundaries at work and how to set boundaries at home. We'll start off with home. And sometimes when we're at home, we're feeling overwhelmed. We need to stop and say, no, I just can't do it all anymore. I can't do this thing, or I can't do this much. I'm overwhelmed. And my recommendations is to get your family together and sit down and have a family conference. We in our house, we need to have a family meeting. If anything is going on and somebody needs to have something that everybody needs to know, we need to have a family meeting. And just say in that meeting, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need some help. Can you all please help me with this or help me with that? I can't do it. And that tells everyone what your expectations are. And then you know what their expectations are as well. Also, setting boundaries at work is very important. You know, sometimes your bosses, their job is to think about what's best for my business or what's best for my unit. I'm a nurse. I worked in nurse management for a long time. So what's best for my unit? And I learned to say no at work when I felt like I was getting stressed. I would learn, no, I cannot work an extra day. Their goal is to make sure they have enough nursing staff on their unit. My goal was to make sure I had peace of mind. No, I'm sorry, I cannot work overtime. Most of the time, the no was, no, I cannot take another patient. A lot of times my assignment was at 8, which is a lot for a med surg unit. You want your assignment to be at 6 or below so that you can really, really take great care of your patients. You can push it to 8 if you don't have somebody that's critical, that requires a lot of nursing care, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of medications. But anything over 8, it's just too much. You're not going to provide safe patient care. And that was the thing from nursing school, from the time I entered nursing school. Patient safety first. It was drilled into our head. And so if I got the 8 patients and then another patient came into the unit, I can't take the patient. I'm so sorry. It's not going to be safe for the rest of my patients. Because when you get a patient in, that requires about 30 to 45 minutes to an hour of your time. You have to do a physical assessment. You have to document a lot in a computer, and that's going to take you away from your other patients for at least an hour. And then those patients that are in pain or have things going on, you're not putting your eye on the patients, you're not seeing them. It's just not safe for all of your patients. So I learned pretty quickly as a nurse, as a bedside nurse, to say, no, I cannot do it. So setting boundaries at home and setting boundaries at work will also lead to having better peace of mind. Now, the second thing that I had to learn to do, and I was forced, I'll tell you the story, to do, was disconnect from social media. I know right now there is a lot going on, and what's going on here in this country is weighing very, very heavy on myself, as it is on a lot of you as well. And I'll tell you a story. When we were living in Saudi Arabia, is when the George Floyd thing happened. And it was very, very difficult for me. It was very difficult for me. I was living in another country. So what was going on in the United States was only on social media. It wasn't on the television in Saudi Arabia. They pretty much didn't know about it. They had nothing to do with them. And so anytime I got on any sort of social media, it was on there. And I found myself crying, sobbing almost daily. Some days I was crying, then I was angry, and then I was crying again. And it was a vicious cycle for days on end. And my husband finally said, enough is enough. And I was like, no, but I need to know the updates, or I need to see what's going on and how the child is going, and I'm crying. And he was like, no. He's always very, very gentle with me, but he explained to me, I am your husband. My job is to protect you at all costs. And I can see how this is weighing extremely heavy on you. I can see it. I can see you getting depressed. I can see you being sad, and enough is enough. No, you cannot get on social media today. As a matter of fact, he made a recommendation. I took a couple of days off from work because I was exhausted. Emotionally, I was completely exhausted. I took a few days off from work, and he was like, you are not allowed to turn on your iPhone, your iPad. I couldn't look at anything. So I had to have time to woosah. And it didn't mean that I didn't have compassion. It didn't mean that I didn't have understanding. It doesn't mean that you won't have empathy. What it means is you're putting your peace of mind first. And it may not be something that you're going to do for a long period of time, but just for the moment. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you need to step back and take a moment for yourself. Protect your peace of mind. You can still pray for the children and their families, but you need to step back so that you can take care of yourself. Well, that's it, family. I know that this was probably I don't know if it was a heavy video, but I just felt like it was something that's needed, particularly right now at this point in time. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I would love it if you would leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know what you do to protect your peace of mind. Do you do yoga? Do you meditate? Do you exercise? Do you paint? Do you work with clay? Do you do things with your hand? What do you do to protect your peace of mind on a consistent basis? Maybe I need some tips. Maybe there's something else I can do as well. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time with me. I greatly appreciate it. And I want you, wherever you are in this world today, to know that I appreciate you and I want to thank you, and may you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.